So this morning I just spent some time cutting out the wings. So let me go get mistletoe. So yeah, the wings are gonna go behind here. Can't see anything, but that's gonna go behind the angel later. So now that I got mistletoe finished, I'm gonna start my Santa. But someone wanted to know how to stitch on perforated paper. So I'm just gonna talk about how I start and how I stitch very quickly because it's super easy and simple. So I have my floss here, and when you get a chart, it comes with these symbols and the floss numbers. So it's just like coloring, you just stitch where it tells you to stitch with the colors that coordinates with the symbol. So I'm going to start with this color, and on perforated paper I stitch with 3 strands, and DMC is a 6-stranded floss, so I'm just going to grab 3 and thread my needle with it. I don't think I need a whole length, so I'll just cut from the middle of the floss here. So I have my 3 strands, and I just thread my needle with it. And also, I don't make a knot at the end, so I'll show you how to stitch without making a knot. So I usually start from the top instead of the center of the paper. I feel like that way I have less chance to misplace my piece on the paper. So I just find my middle and start from the top. But before I start, if you feel the paper, I feel like there's a front and a back. One side feels a little shiny and the other feels a little rough. So I'm gonna stitch on, well, the smoother side up, or the shiny side up. So when I start my thread, I don't make a knot. Instead, I just have the tail on the front of the piece. And as I cross stitch, that tail will be stitched over and anchored. So I'm gonna start my first X, and I'm starting from the middle of the design, and the chart usually marks where the middle is with an arrow here on top and usually on one of the sides as well, like this. So after I find my middle, I just start making X's where the symbols are for the color that I'm stitching with, and that's basically it. I'm just making 2 diagonal lines all throughout. So I already have one of the diagonal lines, so I'm gonna finish off with the other leg of the diagonal line. So this is your first cross stitch, and then after that I'm just looking at the chart here and stitching where the symbol is. So as I stitch, on the other side, you see that the tail is stitched over already. So I'll show you the back after this cross stitch. So I'm adding the other leg. So the other side, you see that the tail is stitched over, and sometimes I just pull it out and just flip this, like making a U-turn, I call it, and continue stitching over the tail just for extra security, I guess. So I'm just gonna continue looking at the chart off camera and keep on stitching where the symbols are for this floss. So I stitched 2 more stitches and the tail is fully anchored, so I can cut the tail short at this point and continue stitching. So it's a little later, and I thought I would show you how I end my floss when I'm done stitching. So it's basically the same idea as when I started, but let me just finish the last 2 stitches. So I could use my needle to go under a couple of the stitches on the back to anchor my tail, but what I usually do is just pull it out to the front, just like this, and later when I stitch my second color, it'll be stitched over just like how I started my thread. But in this case, these empty spaces are going to be stitched with beads, and I do that at the very end. So I'm just gonna go under a couple of stitches on the back because I don't want this to get loose because it'll be a while until I get to the beading. So I just go under a couple of stitches just like this, and then just cut the extra bits. So yeah, and then I just continue the same process with every color until I finish the project. So I hope that made sense to you. There's a lot more videos on YouTube, way better than how I explained cross stitching just now, so that might be more useful to you. But feel free to ask me again if I wasn't clear enough. So yeah, feel free to comment below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. So I just stitched for like an hour, I think, on my Blue Ridge Santa. And as you saw earlier, I started from the hat, and all of the empty spaces here are the beads, several different colors, so that explains this. So I'm going to continue with this later tonight, and last night I worked on my mystery cell just a tiny bit. So I was just working on this area for maybe half an hour, and I think I'm going to fix my mistake later when I get this motif finished. So yeah, this is going okay. It would have been nice if I had everything correctly, but at least it's not a huge mess up. So tonight I'm going to work on the cell and also on my Santa. And since I finished my mistletoe, and these are all of the pieces, she only has a couple, so it'll look like this, with the front dress piece here and the wings behind. But since I finished this, I'm going to start working on my snow angel at some point, and this is still in the beginning stages. I haven't even started the other elements, just the angel. But this is really pretty, so I really want to get back to this and finish it. But I think for now I want to finish my Blue Ridge Santa and then get back to Snow Angel. So I'll check in again later tonight or tomorrow morning. So I finished one of the motifs and I'm going to move over and do the very last one. So really excited about that. And it's one of the more larger pieces in this design. And it looks very complicated, but I think it'll stitch up pretty fast. So I'm going to start that today and see how much of it I could get done today. I don't think I'll be able to finish the whole thing, but I'm gonna at least start it. And then I also stitched a little bit more on Blue Ridge Santa, and to me he looks a little red, like he's drunk, but after I stitched the other colors around it, I think his pink cheeks are gonna mellow out, so I'm going to work on this tonight as well. And I also worked on my Simply Meant to Be. I was trying to finish Jack's face, or his nose at least, but I think I'm missing some DMC, so I think it's that time again for me to organize my DMC boxes and have everything in numerical order so that I could finish a couple of these stitches that I'm missing here. And this section is really confetti heavy, so I don't think I'll be stitching more than 2 stitches with one color. So a lot of color changes, but yeah, so I'm going to try to finish that tonight, if I could organize my DMC boxes. So I'm going to work on my cell, my Santa, and maybe on Simply Meant to Be, and also try to plan out my Bryce tree ornaments tonight. So I didn't get a whole lot done on my mystery cell, but I just wanted to get it started. So I did that, and I was also watching the Mellow Music Awards, so I didn't really get that much done. So I'm gonna try to work on this again tonight, maybe for like an hour. But I actually worked on my Blue Ridge Santa more than I did on my mystery cell. So let me put this, I'm just gonna put it right here. So I worked on his sack or his basket. But this is taking some time to stitch because there's so much beads in this project. I'm actually spending a little bit more time looking for the symbols that are cross stitches instead of beads. So whenever I change colors, it takes me a couple more minutes, because I keep finding symbols for the beads instead of cross stitches, and I want to get all of the cross stitches done before I get to beading. But this is still super fun. I actually learned how to bead with Mill kits, so if you want to do like a Mirabilia, but you're kind of hesitant because of the beading, try out a small Mill kit because there's beading directions inside the chart, and I think it's a really nice practice piece before you go into like a giant memorabilia. That's what I did. I finished a Mill Hill kit before I started my fairy idol. So yeah, I think that's a good way to start if you've never tried beading before. So I'm gonna work on this today again. And I actually planned out my Bryce tree ornaments last night and also got more ribbons. So for the pink I was gonna use this, and this was a little different. It was a little thinner than the blue one that I had, but I found the same kind in pink and yellow. So I'm gonna use these three. Oop. So I'm gonna use these three, and then yeah, I'm not sure, but I feel like I might not fit 4 projects in one of these fabrics, but I'm gonna try to strategically place them so that I could finish all 4 projects per fabric. Yeah, I don't want to get a new pack of fabrics just because of one ornament, because these fabrics was in a pack of 8 or 7. So I'm gonna really try and fit all 4 ornaments in each of these fabrics. So for the pink fabric, I'm gonna try to finish the rose, the flower basket, the Santa, and the fruit basket. And then for the blue one, I'm gonna finish the house, the teapot, and then the angel and the fish. And the rest in this yellow one. So the rabbit, the quilted heart, the bird, and the pine cone. I think this is way up. Yeah. So I'm gonna start with the pink group. I'm gonna work on 4 at a time. So I'm going to start with this group, and I think it'll take me a couple of days to finish these, but yeah, I think it's going to be super fun. And I got a question about my needle minder on my Hate project. So this is one of my own. I designed and made this. So I'll have a link to my Etsy shop in the description, but because of the shipping situation, I decided to have only the EMS option, which is super pricey, but it seems like it's delivered within 10 days. And I have a couple more in a similar design. So these were inspired by death moths. So this is the one where you can keep your threads in and also put your needle on, but I have one without the thread keepers, but I can't seem to find that one right now. But I also have this one, a blue butterfly with the thread keeper, and on my mystery cell here I have the rainbow one, if I could reach it. So yeah, this is a thread keeper and also a needle minder, but I also have one in the pastel color tone. So I have a couple more designs that are similar to this, so I'll have my link in the description box. But yeah, but these are actually my favorites. I actually drew all of them on my phone and then transferred it into my computer and made it into a needle minder. So yeah, I'm still working on new designs, but I'm not too happy with them yet, so I haven't turned them into needle minders just yet. And also, it seems like the situation with COVID isn't getting any better yet. So, I don't know how long this is gonna continue. So, like I said, I took out the standard shipping option on my Etsy shop because I was holding items for people. And even though it's in the announcements and also in every listing, and I also personally message everyone before I prepare the items and also give regular updates every month. There were people who still wanted to cancel after waiting for a while, which I completely understand, but if you cancel right away, I don't have to like prepare the items and make them and work on them and package them because I do work alone and I don't want to miss anything, so I prepare everything right away as soon as I hear back from them saying they're okay with waiting. But yeah, so I had to refund a couple of the orders, and I just have these items now that was once sold but not anymore, and it's a little frustrating because I am a very small shop owner, and yeah, so that's been a little stressful. So yeah, that's why, just to make it easier on me and save time and materials and everything, I decided not to have the standard shipping option, and holding the items for now. But with everyone who has already purchased, I'm still working on finding different ways to ship. But it's been a little difficult with the whole situation at the post office the other week. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone who's been waiting and being so patient with the whole situation. I just really want to say thank you again. So the only option that I have on my Etsy shop right now is the EMS option, and it seems like the EMS option works really well. It has the full tracking system and it's considered priority mail. So far it's been delivering within 10 days or less. So that's the only option that I have, and it's good because I can ship right away. But the only downside is that it's expensive. So I had some people, and also in my other jewelry shop, people ordered a bunch of the items with their friends and have me ship all of it together in one package. So if you have a group of people, that's an option. So yeah, all the links will be in the description. So I started working on my bright tree ornaments, but I don't know, so far I just have these, and these were even left over from a different project, but it fits perfectly for this the fruit basket, and I might use this ribbon too. I was just going to use this for the bow as well, but maybe I'll use this to make a bow, and I kind of like it because it's a little light in color, but then I need to get the same color for, or I mean the same kind of ribbon for these two colors, and I'm not sure if the store had it. So, or I can actually make it super simple and not add anything there, like a bow or anything. I don't know. When it comes to decoration, I think I'm a bit closer to a maximalist. So if I see like an empty spot, I just want to add something there. So I don't know. I'm gonna think about this because if I want to change something, I need to get enough materials for my other pieces as well, and also in three different colors. So I think I'm going to just think about this for a little bit. So I started that and then decided to wait. So I worked on all of the cross stitches on my Blue Ridge Santa, and I was also watching the Mnet Asian Music Awards where BTS won like 8 or 9 awards. So that was really fun to watch, but it was on for 5 hours, I think. So I had a lot of time to stitch. So I ended up just finishing all of the cross stitches, and I think this raccoon is so cute. I love how his feet are just dangling. So I think that's really cute. So yeah, I think I'll start beading tonight with these. So super excited about beading. And maybe this will be finished, but there is a lot of beads, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish all of it, but still, I'm gonna work on this tonight. And I also worked on my Mystery Cell Part 12 after working on Santa, and this section is now just repeated 3 more times. So I'm gonna do that and refill my thread keeper so that I could continue. But yeah, I thought I was really sure how I wanted to finish this, but I guess I could just use the same ribbon for the bow as well. I don't know, maybe I'll try making a bow first and then decide. But yeah, I feel like I got a lot done or spent a lot of time doing something, but not a lot of progress. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to end the video here for this one and start a new one tomorrow. So hopefully in my next video, I'll have some fully finished ornaments to show, but I can't promise anything. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and thank you so much for watching again and commenting. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so I'll see you in my next video. Bye.